Trading tip of the week. So this is around expectations, and you know, when data's coming out, or you know what we're looking at for what's happening in the markets, is it already priced in? So as traders, investors, we're always looking forward. You know, what will happen, not what's happened. And of course, that leads to price changes before events occur. You know, it could be data coming out, it could be speeches, it could be just longer term expectations from investors. But that's all already impacting the markets. So it's always good to study charts to assess if those expectations have already been priced in into the macro, and you know, or just prior to data. So you look at the recent movements, what could have made those movements happen. If you can't see too much that sort of stands out, then it's potentially, it is traders and investors starting to build positions, preempting what's going to happen to the economy. And of course, you know, markets sometimes can move unexpectedly on data, and that's due to the fact it's already priced in. You know, if data comes out and it's in line, you know, you're not really going to get that next wave of buying coming in if a lot of traders expected it to be stronger and they're sitting there long. So the data comes out, it's in line. So what happens to the market? You're not getting that second wave of buying coming in. All those traders that are long need to get out, so the market actually comes off. So it's important to know whether it's already priced in or not, because these markets can have the opposite reaction to what some traders expect. You know, sometimes that's the difference between how pro traders look at markets and retail traders. Okay, we're going to move on to the technicals now. Again, just a little bit of a reminder in case you're new to watching this. Black numbers in the right hand axis just are support resistance levels from the trend lines. Then we've got the brown numbers which indicate breakout levels. Just be careful, because if there's pivot points, one of them's brown as well, but it's not a complete whole line. Whereas the breakout one will be a very long horizontal line. And the claret numbers, claret, I guess, I don't know, are just horizontal levels based on 2 or 3 tops or bottoms, or where I just see support or resistance in the market. Of course, Fibonacci's are there. So again, on the right hand side there, you can see those colours for those levels. The light green one just above the red is the key one. That's the golden ratio, which is the 618 level. Okay, so moving on, here's the Dow Jones Daily. So the market enjoyed a bounce from Wednesday. We had 3 positive days. It's moved higher. We've got a support and resistance in there. Resistance, the one very much at the top is one where, you know, I expected the markets to turn. Last time they got up there, it goes all the way back to April, May time. So it was a, you know, a really good area for me. And the resistance there is at 34,301. Below that, I've got that downtrend line, which is 32,901. Support levels. So I've got there, I've got 31,015 and 39,570 for support levels at the moment. Just looking at the 30 minutes, again, you'll see that I've added the pivot point levels into each of the 30-minute charts. Resistance is 32,249, and I've got support at 32,065. If you notice on Friday, it did get above, but it closed pretty much at R2, so the second resistance level. And then okay, so here we're moving on to the S&P. So again, got some lines on there. I've got that sort of that 4,300 just over. Again, that was a great level for me. I bought some put options there when the market rallied sort of mid-August. And you know, I've been watching that level for so long, hoping the market would have got back up there, and it did. because, as I say, it goes all the way back to the April-May time. And so my resistance level there remains the same if it does break through, which is 43.03. But I've got a lower one, which is that downtrend line, which is 41.14. Support is at 38.88, and second support at 38.73. Moving on to 30-minute, and here on the 30-minute, I've got resistance at 40.80, and I've got support at 40.26 and 40.05. That's on the 30-minute. And again, you can see that the pivot points are on there, and it managed to close above R2. We're now going to move on to the NASDAQ. Just remember, so the Dow Jones is the industrial stocks, S&P is the top 500 stocks in the US, NASDAQ is the tech stocks. So here we're looking again at the daily, first of all. Got that high in there, it did pop through, but it didn't stay up there for very long. Again, that one from April, May. So on NASDAQ, I've got resistance at 13,565. Another one on that downtrend, not far off of where it closed actually, which is at 12,650. Support is at 11,942 and at 11,904. And then we move on to 30-minute. So on the 30-minute here, I've got resistance at 12,621 and I've got support at 12,405. Moving on to the Russell. So the Russell is made up of the small and mid-cap stocks. Again, so here on the daily, I've got resistance at 2004 and at 1951 and support at 1784 and 1768. On the 30-minute, I've got resistance at 1886 and I've got support at 1844. The support line is a breakout. If it goes below there, I would expect the market to go lower. Just remember, only my view, only what I'm seeing. It doesn't guarantee anything. Okay, so let's look at a couple of currencies. So here's cable, which is the pound against the dollar. So the dollar weakened at the end of the week. And this, I believe, is because investors expect the Fed to start to taper these rate hikes towards the end of the year. But just don't be too sure, because it really is going to depend on the data. So on Wednesday, the pound made a new low against the dollar for quite some time, just over 114. And now, it did have that tiny recovery on Friday. A little bit of hope came in, but I just can't get bullish at a pound at the moment. And so on the daily, I'm seeing resistance at 122.38, which obviously is quite a way away. But below that, I've got 117.42. And I've got support at 113.91. Then if we go down to the 30-minute chart, on the 30-minute chart, I'm seeing resistance at 116.03 and I've got support at 115.52. Again, that's a breakout. If it gets below 115.52, I can see the pound coming under pressure again. But we're going to have to wait and see. Moving on to the euro. So ECB rate hike did nothing for the euro. It managed to get it just above parity with the dollar, but it didn't stay there. On Friday, it did have that little bit more success. And so on the daily, I've got resistance at 1.0222 and also at 1.0209. And support below the dollar at 0.9859. On the 30-minute, as you can see there, on the pivot points, they worked great on Friday. It was rejected R2, which was perfect. And so resistance, I've got at 1.0054, and I've got support at 10035. But again, I've got that as a breakout level. So if it pops through there, I can see the euro coming under more pressure again. Now, just remember, these is just how I'm analysing and what I am seeing in the markets. This is not recommendations for you. They're just things you can bear in mind when you're making your own decisions. Okay, so Bitcoin. Bitcoin was under pressure all week. It touched 18,360. But on Friday again, it had that recovery, that boost, and it bounced back to over 2,000. And I would say that's probably partly NASDAQ and partly the expectations of this ETH merge going through. So the brown one above, the 27,380, is a breakout, and it's been there for ages. Now, I'm not expecting it to get there anytime soon, but, just remember that in the back of your mind, that 27,380. If it gets through there, then, that is a breakout as far as I am concerned. But we've got resistance at the moment at 25,260, and below that at 22,801. Support coming in at 18,115. Moving on to the 30-minute, I see resistance at 21,651, and I've got support at 21,055, so just over 21,000 there. And then a breakout on the downside if it manages to drop below 20,190 again. Hopefully it won't, but we just have to wait and see. I say that a lot, don't I? But that's trading. We do have to wait and see. Okay, so Bitcoin versus NASDAQ. Again, this correlation is still there, and you can see it as plain as day. Look at the way they're responding to each other. But of course, the NASDAQ is the stocks, and it's Bitcoin that's following that very loosely. And of course, that's mainly because there's so many institutions in Bitcoin these days. Moving on to commodities. So here we've got the gold daily. It tested that 1,700 level. It doesn't, at the moment, it just doesn't seem to be comfortable down there. For me, I'm long call options on the 1,700 strike. So, and I just feel that it's a good buying level for the moment. Just remember, that's not a recommendation. That's how it's what I'm doing now. But gold is sort of in a fairly tight range, and it's well for what it's been in comparison to some of the crazy stuff it's done for sure. And of course, right, so we've got resistance. I can see that at 1759, resistance at 1730. Support at 1703, and support at 1692. And if we 30-minute here, I can see that we've got resistance at 1740 and support at 1724. So again, I'd probably expect a little bit of a breakout depending on how the data and stocks go this week. Sure which way. Okay, so now we're last but not least is oil. So WTI, it was a mixed week for oil really. It ended a bit stronger. It managed to get back to sort of over 86. As I say, it did test 81 the previous day on Thursday. Sentiment seems a little bit mixed at the moment on oil. So resistance quite a way away at 98.09 and support at 80.87. So support's a bit closer, but I don't like to try and make levels up if I don't see anything else. It's as simple as that. So on the 30-minute, I see resistance at 87.20, and I see support round about the 84 level, 84.08. 8. So that's the analysis. Just a little bit about us and what we do. So Symax Fintech, this is our services. We provide a daily newsletter. You know, this hopefully prepares you for the week ahead. But we also do this daily newsletter where you're getting global news, you're getting my views, and you're getting fresh chart levels on a daily basis from us. So, you know, why not subscribe? You know, give it a go, see if you like it. And then we've got workshops, 1-day workshops, 1-week courses, and then we've got our 4-week masterclass, which sort of really brings you along and accelerates that learning process. Actually, my new accredited masterclass starts tomorrow. And then we also provide trader mentoring, do consulting to companies with hedging, exchanges and brokers for educational content, and we've got a much bigger academy coming very, very soon. So I will let you know all about that as soon as it happens. Now, if you've got any questions, please reach out to us. Or if you want to subscribe or find out more about what and how we can help you. So info@symaxfintech.com. Any questions that are trading related that you want to aim directly at me, I'm more than happy to answer them if I can. chris.tubby@symax-int.com. Have a great week and hope to see you again next weekend. Or next Monday afterwards for our next one of these. You know, we'd love to get your feedback actually on, you know, whether these help you and also anything else you'd like to see added into these. So if you've got anything, you know, contact details are there. Reach out to us. Have a great week.